You know what time it is, ladies and gents. It's time to circle back to Fallout. Of course. I've made a lot of content discussing Fallout and Bethesda game studios and all that, and ultimately it's because I'm a fan. It's because I really want them to figure it out and get their as my toddler told me the other day, they got to get their poop in a group, which I think is something he heard at preschool. But Todd needs to get his poop in a group. Certainly, I will agree with that. And today I wanted to talk about something that is once again insane, because I made a video, which you might have seen on the big channel, Bethesda's fixing what they broke 18 months later, basically describing everything that they are doing with this update on the 10th. Long story short, they broke a ton of stuff in the next gen update, April of last year, 19 months ago. And in that time period, they have not fixed a damn thing. And now that season 2 of the show is coming out, they have revealed that they're doing an update to Fallout 4 to add a new creations menu. And they're selling you this in a new anniversary edition of the game that we'll talk about in just a second. But in the process, they're also going to be breaking the main menu of the game. And they also aim to fix some of the things that were broken with that next gen update. Again, 19-ish months ago. And the point of this video was that it's absolutely insane that you have a AAA game studio that is taking a year and a half to fix things that they broke. Like, that's insane. That's just insane. VATS was broken for the last 18 months. The most popular mod for Fallout 4 in the last year and a half has been the rollback or downgrade mod, which downgrades Fallout 4 to the next gen update, which is wild. Interestingly, a lot of you guys commented on this video. This is just a small snippet of some of the comments that I clipped like yesterday. And this was a lot of people who think specifically that Bethesda is breaking this stuff on purpose. These were comments on that video. As you can see, the patch is going to break the Creation Club button remover on purpose. Which is a mod you can install to remove the Creation Club on Fallout 4. People are speculating that this update is going to break that. You guys haven't figured out it's all done on purpose. They broke it on purpose because it was not generating money. The next gen update broke a working game, period. It took so long to get back to it, to do some retexture BS to make players pay for. And what will the next update trash? As is, the game is unplayable with or without mods, and modders cannot fix it. They broke it on purpose right before Fallout London, which it did happen to break the game right before Fallout London. That's just a fact, is that it broke it right before Fallout London. Whether it was intentional or not, there's speculation, but they did break it right before a massive mod was released. If it's incompetence, they shouldn't be a AAA studio anymore. I'm sure Bethesda is doing it on purpose. I love Fallout and Elder Scrolls, but after the entire debacle that was 76, I lost all respect for them and treat them with utmost scrutiny. Hopefully this doesn't break things, but it's Bethesda, so it's probably going to break everything. My guess is that they broke the game on purpose, so people that already bought and have like 200 hours of Fallout 4 would have to or would leave and potentially play Fallout 76. They were just waiting for enough mods to come out so they could break them all in one fell swoop. It goes on and on. Not a whole lot of excitement for this update. What is this update that they're doing? Well, they announced it as, and they're showcasing it as, the Anniversary Edition, as you can see here. Okay, trying to get people hyped. Anniversary Edition for Fallout 4, a game that is about to turn 10 years. Okay, what is this? Well, the Standard Edition just comes with the base game. Makes sense. The Game of the Year Edition comes with the base game and the 6 official expansions, including Automatron, Far Harbor, Nuka World, Wasteland, the Contraptions one, and then the Vault-Tec one, which are all like for base building and stuff like that. The Anniversary Edition, these are the 2 new ones. So they have the Anniversary Edition and then an upgrade to it. The Anniversary Edition, if you buy it outright, it has the base game, all the expansions, and 150 Creation Club items, paid mods. Or, as it would be called in pretty much any other video game, a microtransaction. But here it's different because they have other people make it for them. Some of it they do themselves, but a lot of it they have other people do it. Okay. They do allow you to upgrade to it, which implies it will not be a free upgrade because there's a separate version of it. And that doesn't include the base game, but it upgrades you to the expansions and the Creation Club items. They're also selling the Creations Bundle, where you can buy the 150 Creation Club items separately, and then the Season Pass, which just includes the official expansions. Again, this is a DLC and microtransaction roadmap for a game that is 10 years old, a single-player game that is 10 years old, and that they have broken, they broke a year and a half ago and have yet to fix. Couldn't be arsed to fix it. but they can generate these and find new ways to sell you stuff. Like, this is why I said in that video, I was like, Bethesda at this point is basically the DSP of gaming, because the only time they come with anything new, it's just a new way of trying to extract money from the few fans they still have left. Instead of celebrating the game with the anniversary edition and giving players something, being like generous and celebrating the success of the game, as like CDPR has done with Cyberpunk's free updates and free DLC and all that, instead of doing that, they are just finding new ways to sell you stuff. And we all know why. The Fallout show is going to generate a lot of interest. A lot of people are going to come back to the game specifically for the Fallout Season 2, hype and excitement. And so they want to have something to sell and some way to capitalize on that. I get it. It makes sense. That doesn't mean I have to like it, though. That doesn't mean I have to respect them for doing it. It's still kind of slimy and gross, but that's just how they operate now. But what's also interesting is that at this point, this comes out in 3 days, and they still do not have a price listed for this anniversary edition. They are still keeping it locked and quiet. They don't want you to know how much they're charging for it. I'm guessing they're going to reveal this, because what's the Game of the Year edition listed at right now? Let's see. On PlayStation, it's $40. So if it's 40 on PlayStation, the anniversary edition brings 150 Creation Club items. They haven't said how much those will cost. It's got to be like $10, right? There's no way they charge like $20 for a bunch of microtransaction, like DLC, micro DLC crap. Maybe they could get to 20. That would be shocking though. So it's got to be like 10, which would put it at $50. $50 for the anniversary edition upgrade. They're including all that stuff. They're probably going to charge like $20 or $30 for the upgrade. Creation bundle for 10. If they charge more than 10, that's absolutely ridiculous, but they probably are going to try to do that. Let's be perfectly honest. Again, it's so frustrating. Bethesda, in my opinion, you can track the active decline of their quality and their production output and just everything with the moment that they started experimenting with these paid mods, because now, and this is what I've said in other videos, they have a monetary incentive to not fix their games or not put out the best games possible. Because what happens now, if you play a game like Starfield or Fallout 4, and there were a ton of amazing cosmetics, tons of amazing weapons, all the bugs were fixed, the performance is great, you have the carrying capacity is exactly what you need. If all of it was just super well executed, super good, you'd have no reason to engage with the paid mods, of which many are fixes to things that are broken within the game. On PC, people would still experiment with DLC, like Fallout London, for example. They'd still go with those, but I think now Bethesda has a vested interest in like not having a lot of habs in Starfield for your ships, because then if they don't have a lot, you go looking for more and you can find them in the creations menu through paid mods. You can buy more mods or more habs for your ship. If you want different skins for your outfits, if you want your character to look different or look cooler, you can get those through paid mods. If you want different weapons, you can get those through paid mods. They've created a system where they make money by not delivering complete experiences. And even more baffling, they don't have to do it. A lot of these paid mods are built by creators that they partner with and that they put their product on the store page. But Bethesda takes a cut. And my understanding, having spoken to a few people who, of course, want to remain anonymous because they're not allowed to share publicly the stats and the data on these splits. But my understanding, speaking to people who do this, for every dollar, this is $1, for every dollar on the Creation Club that is spent, 30% of it goes to the platform holder. Okay, so the plat. And that could be Microsoft if it's on Xbox, or if it's on Game Pass, for example. They own the platform. They process the transaction. They take that 30%. BGS takes 40% for building the game and the tools and everything. So BGS takes 40%, and that leaves just 30% for the actual modder. Some would be like, yeah, but it's 30% more than they would have gotten otherwise. Sure, I guess. But either way, like when you look at this, 70%, if it's on Xbox or Game Pass or anything like that, they're taking 70% of every dollar generated through these paid mods. When you buy them for like $1, $5, or $10, they're taking $7 out of that $10 mod that you bought. Allegedly. And the modder takes 30%. Notice they never publicly describe how much the modders are making. And I think it's because it's this amount and it probably isn't the best look. But this is why BGS loves paid mods, because they're making money hand over fist without having to do a damn thing. Like, it's crazy. They've created a system where they don't need to finish their games because their own fans will build and sell the fixes to those problems, and they get paid for those fixes. So they release an unfinished game and then they make money on having other people make the fixes for it. Like, it's actually insane. It's actually insane. Back in the Xbox 360 era, people would jokingly say, oh yeah, Bethesda just releases broken games and modders fix it. And it was kind of a joke, but also not, because it was also kind of real. But now they found a way to monetize it. And it's the brilliance of Todd in this era. Frankly, I got to give you credit, Mr. Todd, for this, because it really is brilliant. He looked at their business model and was like, so our games are always really clunky and like rough around the edges, and modders fix our games. What if we found a way to make money on that? And he did it. He figured it out. It's taken about a decade. They started pushing it back in 2018. It's taken about a decade, but they have effectively found a way to break their own games and sell you the fix for it without having to do any of the work. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And it's why a lot of the fans have grown cynical and stuff. But the reason they do it is because people buy it. The reason that they're doing this is because there's a lot of gamers out there who are like, wow, 150 Creation Club items. I don't think they care that it's mods or paid mods versus microtransactions or DLC or whatever you want to call it. This is effectively the same exact thing as when Ubisoft puts skins and stuff into their games. Even though they're single player, they charge $10 for a new skin or $5 for an experience pack or new crafting materials. It's the same basic thing that these Creation Club items offer you, also for money. It's the same thing. It's just a different coat of paint, but it's the same exact crap. At least with like the example of the probably funniest bug I can think of with Assassin's Creed and Ubisoft stuff was the AC Valhalla drunk glitch. Yeah, there was a bug. There's 89 views. Look at this. There was a bug in the game where every time you would load into AC Valhalla, you would load in plastered. Okay, like you had done the drinking mini game 15 times. Ivor would just be out of his mind or her mind drunk. And it was very, very funny. It was very stupid and weird. But basically, it was just a bug that was in the game. And it happened right before the holidays. So it happened right before the holiday break. And so for all of like Christmas and New Year's, every time you'd boot up the game, Ivor would just be plastered. But they fixed it once they came back into the office. It was like the first thing they did. And so it was fixed basically within, I believe, like 3 weeks when all was said and done. And that was over the course of the holiday period. So there was like a reason it took a while, because literally nobody was in the office. But that took 3 weeks. And I remember at the time thinking, this is insane that it's still not fixed. It's still not fixed. This is crazy. And BGS can't manage to fix VATS being broken. VATS, which was broken for a year and a half. That's like a core gameplay system in Fallout. It's like pretty important, okay? It's like, oh, you can't drive cars in GTA 5 anymore. They broke it in a patch. It's like a big deal. It's like a huge component of the combat system is VATS. And they broke it a year and a half ago, and they're just now fixing it. Like, can you imagine any other studio doing that? Like, Ubisoft took 3 weeks to fix Drunken Eivor, which is like kind of funny, and it wears off quickly, and then you can keep playing. It wears off in like 90 seconds, I think it was. But they fix it within 3 weeks. And then BGS is taking a year and a half to fix actually broken mechanics within their game. And they're like, yeah, we'll get around to it when we get to it. Also, the update is coming at the same time. We have all new Game Shop store update stuff to bring you. Because bear in mind, this update that they're doing, it's coming on November 10th. But with this update is going to be a bunch of other changes to the game to implement the creations menu. So they're claiming they're going to fix things like VATs, things like some of the other bugs they ran into with ultra wide support, UI elements not working properly, things like that. But they're also probably realistically going to break a ton of other stuff when they update the game on the 10th as well. And they're not fixing some of the other problems, like if you play the game over 60 FPS, your character runs at like quadruple speed, which is something I showed in this video, which is like a little insane. Like, look at this. Okay, just watch this in case you missed the video. And you can run it higher than that. Well, as you can see, I have a bit of a supercomputer for making these videos and stuff. Thank you guys for watching the videos, make it possible, by the way. But I am running this at 4K, cranked out the ass, floating somewhere in like the mid to high 300s, and you can see the overlay keeps breaking whenever I try to display it, but it gives you a pretty good idea of roughly where we are, okay? What happens when your frame rate's above 60 in the game? Well, you might think that it looks just fine right now as I stand here. Oh, what's that? Let me run over there. This is real time. This is what the game does when you try to play it above 60 frames a second. All of the animations break, physics breaks, as you can see, like its calculation of how high you should be jumping, how hard you should be landing, all of that breaks down if you happen to play above 60. It's insane. That's not being fixed, by the way. That's been there for a decade and they still haven't fixed it. Yeah. Figure that one out. So all of this to say, it's just insane. It's just insane. You know, some people are like, oh, Luke, you're too hard on BGS. I don't think, frankly, we're hard enough. This is all insane. For any studio to do this would be unacceptable. Just because we're used to them, you know, peddling and selling us shit doesn't mean that we should get used to it and tolerate it. You know, like this is unacceptable. For any other studio or publisher, this would be like headlines across the internet. Like if Ubisoft did any of this stuff, they'd be crucified and it would be everywhere. Everybody making videos on it. They broke AC Shadows 6 months ago and they're just now fixing it. But instead for them, it's a year and a half. Like it's actually insane. And then they're also bringing it with an in-game store, finding new ways to sell you stuff with paid mods and things. And no doubt they're going to break the game all over again when this launches on the 10th. It's just ridiculous. And it's really, really sad to see how far they've fallen, frankly, but that's where they're at. We will have more to talk about with Bethesda in a later segment later on in the stream, because I want to circle back to them and discuss Elder Scrolls 6 and release windows for that, but we'll get to that. In the meantime, I just think it's absolutely ridiculous and unacceptable, and at this point I don't expect much more from them, unfortunately. And I keep waiting for the day when they come out and they like surprise us all and give us something that really blows us away and we're like, oh, this is what they've been doing. But I just don't see it. I don't see it. So for now, I'm just sad. And that's that. He took my thing.